The International Business Times interviewed Republican Senator Bob Corker. Corker admits he hasn't read the final tax bill that's going to be voted on this week in the House and Senate, but he is going to vote for it. He also claims that he had no idea about a last-minute change to the bill that would personally enrich him. So let's take this in two parts. First of all, there's this provision that was added which allows people like Corker to hide real estate holdings, and also it reduces taxes on income that one earns from LLCs that hold real estate. And it just so happens that Corker earned $7 million last year from exactly this type of income. And it also just so happens that Corker changed his vote from no to yes on the bill after that provision was added. But he says he had no idea about that provision being there, being added, and that it didn't factor into his vote. By the way, Donald Trump also lists between 40 and $70 million of the exact same type of income on his financial disclosures, meaning he would also benefit from this little provision that Corker supposedly knew nothing about. That's part one. Part two, big picture, this doesn't apply just to Corker, but Corker admits he hasn't read the bill, that he read a summary. We're talking about more than $1 trillion in changes hanging in the balance here. He had a summary. He never saw the actual text of the bill, but it's great and he supports it. Now, I get it, right? Word by word, these are huge bills. That's what your staff is for to some degree. But to say I read a 2-page summary from the leadership of the Republican Party, that's not due diligence. That's not responsibility to your constituents. And then, of course, the straight up lying hypocrisy hybrid that's become kind of the calling card of Republicans under the Trump administration. He told NBC News that he wouldn't vote for a bill that adds a penny to the deficit on October 1st of this year, 10 weeks ago. And now he's all of a sudden in favor of a bill that's going to add about $1.5 trillion to the deficit, except he's voting for it. He's voting for it without even having read the bill, and it benefits him hugely. I guess just hearing that there's a provision that enriches you is enough. You don't even have to read the fine print of the bill at that point. And to add to this, Corker is just one of the senators that has received, or not necessarily received, but who had provisions added either because of their involvement or through no involvement of their own that personally benefit them financially. Not even time to cover them all. There's Bob Corker. We'll let you know whether this ultimately passes later this week.